Welcome back to the live stream, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be making this cucumber salad that I make pretty often. I did find out that one of my avocados had gone bad beforehand. We're also going to be prepping some chicken stuff, and I'm going to be leaking part of a track from the upcoming album. So I'm going to stop waving this cucumber around. We're going to get to work. I'm going to let folks kind of filter in here, and then we'll get the audience opinion on what track we want a little bit of a leak. I'm not going to leak a whole track. You're going to get a few seconds at some point, but we're going to leak part of it. Okay, so the main dish that we're making tonight, aside from our cucumber salad, which again, one of my avocados went bad, and I think this one might be as well. So I might have to add another avocado to it tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to start prepping this chicken stuff. And the reason that I'm starting with that is because Callista was very clear that she did not want to miss the cucumber, anything cucumber related tonight. I don't know why. Cucumbers are so important to her, but I'm trying to respect it. So we're also making a crock pot chicken and gravy, which you've probably seen me make before. I've been doing a lot of crock pot stuff recently, not even necessarily because it's cold, but because it'll last me all week. Awkwardly also just realized that my recipe is usually something I pull up on my phone, so I'm going to have to pull this up on the computer here over to the side. It's in my cooking folder. There we go. So our crock pot chicken and gravy, very, very simple recipe. It's going to use some dry chicken gravy mix, a can of cream of chicken soup, water, boneless chicken, which I'm using chicken thighs for this, garlic powder, salt and pepper to taste, and a half cup of sour cream, which means I better get on top of it because I bought the sour cream like a week ago and I don't want it sitting in my fridge forever. Again, we are going to do a little tiny album leak tonight. Not even a whole song, just a few seconds of something. And once some of our regulars are back in here, we'll make a decision on which it is. Don't make fun of my oversized plaid. It's cold in my apartment. It's cold in my apartment. Okay, let's break this stuff out. I need 2 packets of dried chicken gravy mix. Got that. Couple cups of water. I already pulled out my boneless chicken. This is what we have left of the chicken thighs from the last recipe that we made a few weeks ago. And then I'll have to refresh our little can of Campbell's cream of chicken soup. And let me just say, I get my groceries delivered to save me time because my time is valuable. And normally getting my groceries delivered is an okay thing, but if you're a shopper, if you shop for people who order their groceries, try not to give people dented cans. I inspected this. There's no breach in the can. There's no holes, but made me a little nervous when it showed up. What's up, Nathan? Nathan's got some new stuff coming out. I just saw he was uploading to his distributor earlier today. So congratulations to him. Garlic powder, salt, and pepper. Let's grab those things. There we go. And then half a cup of sour cream, which should be basically half of this thing. This is 8 ounces. Hold up, it might be the whole thing. How many ounces are in a cup? Is it 16 ounces in a cup? I feel like it's 16 ounces in a cup. No, 1 cup is 8 ounces. I'm sorry. So half of this. This is 1 cup. We only need half of this. I'm going to need to break out a whisk, too. So for those who have been wondering, still been spending just about every evening working on either something album related or some other things that I'm working on. By the way, though, I'm looking to add a couple of students to my roster. So if you have, especially if you're in the DFW area, North Fort Worth, if you have been interested in learning piano, guitar, acoustic or electric, bass, saxophone, or music production and mixing, get a hold of me and talk to me later on. I'm looking to add probably 2 students to my roster right now to start off. I'm getting back into that vibe. I was also helping Sarah shoot some B-roll for a music video a few days ago, and that's going to be really exciting too, because several things are going to come out of that. But I can't give too much away about that right now. All right, so we need to get our gravy packets and our water and our cream of chicken soup into the crock pot. And I seem to have misplaced. No, here we go. 2 cups of water. You know what? Actually, I'm going to take this thing out of the electric portion of it. I don't want to accidentally get something wet that I don't want to get wet. How was everybody's Thanksgiving? What did you guys do for Thanksgiving? I spent a few days with Jacob and Sarah and Sarah's family. Learned a couple new card games in the process. Abby, I had a little bit of your, I think I saw you in there. I had a little bit of your green bean casserole. It was good. And the only reason that I'm calling that out is because I typically like gag on green bean casserole. It's like the one arch nemesis still remaining for me in the Thanksgiving pantheon of food. But I had some of yours. It was pretty good, even though it's a dish that in general I'm not a fan of. So good job. I didn't even know this, but during the live stream a couple of weeks ago, you set up like this back alley deal with Jacob to get some to him, and I thought it was a joke. I thought you guys were just memeing in the chat, and then he was like, "No, dog, I'm going to go pick it up from her on Wednesday." I was like, "Oh, this is real. Okay." All right, so we've got our water, our gravy, and we need to add the cream of chicken soup in here and whisk it all together. I really, really have to stay on top of doing album work every evening that I can because it's crunch time. I'll go ahead and tell you this, and we're going to have to start advertising it soon, but the first single is supposed to drop like either December 31st or January 1st. So that means the runway starts now just for stirring up excitement about it. And some of you were involved in the music video shoot for that song, and if so, I'm going to be rallying the troops on that pretty soon. Nathan, I saw that you're in here. I know I was calling out some of your music. I'm pretty stoked. Normally with Nathan and his friends and family every year, there's a football game that goes down that I'm normally playing in that we have lovingly dubbed the Turkey Bowl. But I was not at home in Ohio for Thanksgiving this year. And I wasn't going to ask them to postpone the event for me. There's a lot of other people involved. But it just sort of organically happened anyway. It looks like it's going to turn into a Christmas event, which I will be home for. So hang on, because I got long legs and I know how to sprint. I have many arch nemesis in the world of foods. Well, do tell, brother. What caloric creations bring you the most consternation? Points for alliteration. I'm going to high five myself on that. That was some 1950s arch villain tomfoolery. What caloric creations bring you the most consternation? In other words, what foods give you the most trouble? We'll be doing a snow bowl. Yeah, I'm excited. Here's the thing. I'm glad it's happening when I'm going to be in town. The problem is I hate the cold. I hate the cold. I hate trying to do physical athletic things in the cold, except for the fact that it warms me up to be doing those things. So I'll just have to put on a lot of layers and shed them a little bit at a time as we go. All right, so we've got all of our stuff in the crock pot for the broth. Now we need to add our chicken and cover it in our salt, pepper, and garlic powder. And then I'm going to let that defrost overnight, and that'll be it. That'll be slow cooked over the course of the day tomorrow. And usually I prefer to have this dish with egg noodles. I don't have any egg noodles right now. I didn't get any. So instead, I'm going to have it over rice, which I always have some rice around. Just trying to get all these pieces of chicken covered in the gravy here. That'll naturally happen as I shred it tomorrow anyway, but it just feels right to do it now. There we go. That's the last of my chicken. I'm kind of waiting for Callista to pop in here. Callista was very adamant that she didn't want to miss cutting the cucumber. I don't know why she's so invested in that, but it's quarter after, Callista, you know. I can only hold off the cucumber for so long. I'm just a super picky eater in general. Nathan says, you've witnessed that firsthand. He also says, I hated the cold until I ran a 10K in 19-degree weather. Now I've been molded by it. Dude, good for you. Honestly, man. Like you're constantly on this upswing for the last, couple of years. It's been really cool. I don't run much anymore. The biggest thing I ever did was a obstacle 5K, which was similar to a Tough Mudder. So I think it was either 15 or 25 obstacles over the course of a 5K. So you were crawling through cold, muddy water, under barbed wire, or there was this thing called like the Quad Buster where you had to zigzag up and down the slope on a hill. There was the vert wall where you had to run and jump and grab the edge and everybody was helping each other over it. It was fun. It was exhausting. There were guys there that were in such monstrous shape that they were getting through the obstacle course as fast as it normally would just take me to run a 5K. Sheesh, dude. I was impressed. But it was a cool experience. Like, it's a t-shirt nobody can ever take away from me. Okay. We're going to add our salt and pepper and our garlic powder. Let's kind of let that sit on top. And then we'll put this in the fridge for the night so that I can slow cook it tomorrow afternoon and it will be ready by dinner time. What's up, Jacob? Welcome to the stream. About midway through the stream, or maybe towards the end tonight, I'll have the chat decide what track we want to do a small, like 10, 15 second leak of. That'll come a little later. All right. This stuff is good to go and it's ready to defrost in the fridge overnight. The other couple things we're doing is I'm going to brew some more tea because I ran out of green tea, and then we're going to cut our vegetables. And I hope at least one avocado had gone bad. I hope this one isn't bad too. Has a little bit of white mold on the outside. If I can't use either of the avocados, I'll just cut all of my vegetables except for the avocados and add those tomorrow. I'll swing by the store and grab a couple of them or something. I kind of wish I had checked them before. Could have had them included, but that's okay. We can still make it happen. That's in the fridge. Let's go ahead and start brewing some green tea over here to the side. and then we will work on our chickpea salad, hopefully with at least one avocado tonight. Filter through some water. Nathan says, my end goal is a half marathon. It'd be a cool accomplishment more than anything else. Absolutely, dude. I'm just not that interested in running. I try to be nice to my knees these days. So again, most I've ever run was a obstacle 5K. But distance-wise, I've never done more than a 5K. So you've already got me beat on the distance. Just letting this water filter through. So I am brewing this green tea in order to make another batch of passion fruit green tea to keep feeding my boba habit. So again, how was everybody's Thanksgiving? Like I was saying before, I basically spent those few days with Jacob and Sarah and their extended family. I don't know if Rachel ever jumps in here, but Rachel was there. Rachel made some really good pies. She was experimenting with her pie recipe. And look at this soup. I ate some of this yesterday. This they sent me home with some leftovers, but this Hobbit soup that is like a chicken. It's a bunch of shredded chicken and some kind of chicken gravy with some of those fancy carrots that aren't just orange, but are white and like that purplish blackish color. It looks like a hobbit hole in a bowl when you break it out. I'm enjoying it. Speaking of hobbit holes, though, I started listening to The Hobbit on audiobook the other day, and it's read by Andy Serkis, who was the actor who played and voiced Gollum in the Lord of the Rings movies. Super talented voice actor and is very good at differentiating characters by voice, even when there's a big cast like there is in The Hobbit. Just fun to listen to. Nathan says, great Thanksgiving, family in town and everything. That's cool, man. When you say family in town, all of the family that I know of your family was basically in town. So do you have folks from pretty far away that came in? I just realized I'm going to be forced into expanding my taste palette in my Japan trip in April. Man, is that in April? Is that this coming April? It's coming up already. That's crazy, man. I'm happy for you. I would love to go. I'm sure I will go. I will go to Japan one day. You are the second friend of mine I know that has had a trip or has planned a trip there. No, third. I know 3 people. Iceland is on the list. I've been in Iceland, but I was only there for like an hour. Norway, Sweden, Spain. Gosh, cool stuff to dream about. We had Jacob and Noah. Noah's still pretty close, but it was cool to have us all under the same roof again. And that's right. Like Jacob is far out of town. It's weird. Like I know some of us are all in different geographic places right now, but I still don't feel like we're that far apart. Like in my brain, Jacob is not that far away, even though I know where he is. So yeah, that's cool. I didn't realize he had come into town for Thanksgiving, though. I'm glad he was able to do that. It's not as long of a drive for him. I mean, it's still a long drive, but it's like a half-day road trip. It's not an all-day road trip for him, which is nice. Did he have Leslie with him? If not, I recognize it's probably just because they weren't able, the way that their jobs work out, but that would have been cool. What's up, Sarah? Thanks for joining the chat. Okay, I don't know where Callista is. She saw my post about this and responded to it, but I got to do it. I got to cut this. I'm sorry. I tried to sandbag. I did everything else first. It's got to happen. I really hope this avocado is not bad. There's our big mixing bowl. Okay, I'm going to take this off because I don't want to get vegetable gunk on it. So to start kind of priming your mind right now, I'm going to give you a little bit of a leak tonight of some new music. But I'm going to let you guys decide what you want to hear. So there's 5 new songs on the album. The album is a collection. Well, there might be 6. That's a separate conversation. But there's at least 5 new songs on the album. And part of it is a collection of singles that I've already put out that just never were grouped together in album form. And then there's 5 completely brand new tracks. I'm going to describe them to you the best that I can. I'm going to let you guys pick. Probably later on toward the end of the stream we'll play one of those. Part of one, not the whole thing. One is more of like a straight-ahead electronic pop tune. Tons of fun, very EDM influenced. There's another one that's a little bit more CCM, like Christian radio influenced. It's number 2. There's another that's super pretty and orchestral, similar almost to like a Disney duet that Sarah and I did together with the help of Jacob doing some orchestration. Very theatrical, but beautiful. There's another one that is very similar to like Warrior Spirit. That was a collaboration with Jacob again. So very cinematic, alt pop, big movie trailer vibes. And then finally there's one that's kind of like a another sort of electro pop, kind of EDM influenced track with some vocals by our friend Tahila. So she's the collab on that one. So I'll give you those options again a little bit later on, but start thinking about which of those it would be your vote to get a short little leak from, and we'll get that toward the end of the stream. Christian Disney duets is an exciting new genre. It's a new growth opportunity for you and your investors. Okay, you guys know the deal with the chickpea salad. It's my sneaky way of getting myself to eat more vegetables. We're going to start off with the chickpeas. Strain them, rinse them, put them in a bowl, smash them, mash them, stick them in a stew. Nah. Our tea is running through behind me there. And if you're new, because I'm streaming to TikTok, to Instagram, and to YouTube, and you haven't heard any of my music, go check out Samuel Day on really wherever you stream music. It's on all the platforms. Okay. I'm going to set the cucumber to the side. We're really going to give Callista a shot here. Again, I don't know why she was so invested in the cucumbers, but she didn't want to miss a cucumber. So I'll start with the tomatoes here. Get those knobby tops off. I'm trying to get faster. Faster at chopping and cutting things. Some people are so quick. And I want to be safe, but I want to be skillfully efficient with the cooking time too, prep time. One of these days, I might have to upgrade our little streaming setup here too, to where we can just get some background music playing all the time, something like that. Right now, I'm just kind of streaming from 3 different devices to 3 different platforms. And I've used Restream before. I've set it up for churches. but I think I can only do 2 of these platforms from there. I'm trying to just be as efficient as I can. All right, there's 1 tomato. So Jacob asked us a question a few days ago that I think came from a set of questions and some game cards. And it was, what is one item that doesn't show up at Thanksgiving, but you wish it would? Like a side item. I think the question was specifically side items, I guess. I also kind of wonder, though, how the foods for Thanksgiving got chosen. Like, think about breakfast foods. Breakfast foods are arbitrary. Why are eggs more a breakfast food than they are a food for any other time of the day? You can ask that same question about any other breakfast food. Toast, bacon, sausage, French toast. And I think it must have started, at least as what we call like our Western breakfast foods, so European breakfast foods. It must have started in the UK, right, or in Europe, because they were pretty similar when I was in England, with a couple variations here and there. But how do you think those things got chosen? Like, who chose, okay, the Thanksgiving thing is turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, sweet potatoes, pumpkin pie, apple pie? Who made that decision? I'm pretty sure OBS can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. I'll have to check that. I know you can route OBS to Restream. That's the way that I have done it and have helped churches do it. But maybe they've got a multi-stream feature built in now that I wasn't aware of. I think Streamlabs can too, but you need the subscription service. Ah, okay. Yeah, if any breakfast pastries really don't make sense. I don't want to start my day with carbs and sugar. That's an evening thing. Yeah, like donuts. Why are donuts considered a breakfast thing? That really does not make sense. Sarah says, I've been wanting Japanese food these days. Rice maker going crazy. Oh, I probably need to do, I do need to make some rice tomorrow, too, for the stuff that we're prepping tonight. I love Japanese food. I love some good hibachi. I've had sushi a few times. I'm not going to lie. I don't dislike it. Like, I'll eat it, but I never gravitate toward it. I never have a desire, I never have a craving for sushi. Okay, we're going to find out about this avocado. The way it feels and looks, I don't have high hopes. I don't think I'm going to be able to use this avocado, so I'll probably have to add the avocados tomorrow. But one way to find out, we got to get in there. Like, it's kind of squishy, gross on the outside. I have to run a little errand tomorrow anyway, so I can always stop and get an avocado. Nope, not going to use that. So here's the thing. There's actually a little bit of mold growing inside the avocado. There's like a pocket of mold that came in from the stem. Yeah, I can't. I'm not taking that risk. I love myself. Okay. Oh, you guys know how I feel about onions. I'm gonna raw dog it this time. I'm not gonna put the goggles on. Cut the top off. Peel this outside. Get the husky part off. I smell you. And here's what's funny too. I like the smell. I like the aroma of red onions. It makes me think of, honestly, it makes me think of Chipotle. Okay, we're good so far. Now we get into the violence of the thing. I'll cut this in half. I think I only have to use half of this red onion, if I remember the recipe correctly. Also tell them that burnt beans doesn't make good coffee. Shots fired at Starbucks. Wait, I still want a job. Jacob, can you stand outside my job and say that to all the customers? I'm tired of making people milkshakes for breakfast. Okay, Abby, what do people get in the morning at a coffee shop aside from coffee? But like what do people, because if I were to go, I would get like one of the egg sandwiches or something, right? Some carbs and some protein to get going. And then that, I feel like that would offset well your sweet coffee, which again, I'm a basic white girl when it comes to coffee. So I'm not getting straight coffee. Like I'm going to get something fun. But people are really like ordering milkshakes in the morning. Can you run that back for me? Okay, I'm starting to feel it. Oh, please spare me. Come on. Oh, okay. No, not as bad as normal. Not as bad as normal. We're upgrading. Charmander's becoming Charmeleon here. I still feel it, but I feel like I'm handling it better than normal. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not breaking down and having to stop and grab a tissue. I see this as an absolute win. Come on, push through. Our first batch of tea just finished brewing through. So I will grab that in just a moment too. But we need to get this red onion added. Please tell me this is not too tall for me to close the lid on. I'm squishing it a little, but not a lot. Perfect. I've always preferred a nice fruit smoothie over coffee. Okay, a fruit smoothie is not a bad thing. I understand the tendency toward having something with some sugar in it in the morning, just to kind of kickstart yourself, right? Sugar is quick, easy glucose energy. It's a little zap. I don't drink very much coffee at all. I really don't ever want to be dependent on caffeine. I enjoy some good coffee. Some of the best coffee I've ever had was at Pax and Beneficia over in Kroger. Abby, I know we talked about it. Man, that thing I got from there, wish I could remember what it was called, but like changed my life. It was great. But when I get coffee, I get it for fun. Does this recipe take the whole onion? It takes half a red onion. I'm right. Okay, come on. Not gonna quit. I'm gonna push through. Oh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling it, but it's feeling me more. You see this? I know this is. If I ever have to like cry in a movie and I'm having a hard time getting to the emotions, just give me an onion. Just give me an onion. And I can give you one of these. I thought this time we'd make it through to the other side. You see that single tear? That's real. Oh gosh. Yeah, who needs method acting when you have onions? Gosh. I tell you what, it would work though. It would work. That was real. That was organic, what you just witnessed. Okay, we're gonna put these in there. Everything, dude. Okay. We don't have any avocados tonight. So on to the last thing, which is our cucumber. I'm gonna pause on that. We're gonna prep this tea. And then we'll go to the cucumber. Jacob, may I interest you? I just joined to see Sam fighting for his life, David. Jacob, may I interest you? I just joined to see Sam fighting for his life, David. Greek yogurt is fire. Yeah, I forgot about Greek yogurt for a while. I started getting it again recently. Ugh. What's up, David? Jacob, may I interest you in our protein drinks at Starbucks? Cost $10, but the Venti Ice Protein Matcha has 15 grams of protein. I need to get a Ninja Creamy for some protein ice cream. What is that? What is a Ninja? Like the Ninja, the mixer thing? Like the blender? The Ninja blender? Or are you talking about something else? I've never heard of whatever it is you just called out. Okay. So again, restating what we were talking about before. Here soon, toward the end of the stream, we will leak a bit of music from the new album. And really soon, we'll start talking about the album name and giving a little bit more information on it. But again, you got 5 tracks to choose from that we can leak a little piece of. One is a very cinematic alt-pop track, similar to something you might hear on Daredevil or Netflix's Arcane from League of Legends. We got one track that's like a fun kind of electro-pop, radio pop track. We got another one that's in that same vibe, but a little bit chiller, that features some collab vocals from our mutual friend Tahila Rose. Got another one that is like a Disney-style duet with a bunch of beautiful orchestral stuff with Sarah, who's in the chat. And then finally, we have one that's more of like a CCM Christian worship radio, like mainline acoustic guitars song. So think about which one of those you want to get a preview of, and we'll grab your votes here shortly. Ninja has an ice cream machine. I didn't know Ninja made an ice cream machine. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know how it works, but it's an ice cream machine by Ninja. Sam, I tagged you in my November recap. Well, thank you. Thank you, Destiny. Thank you for jumping in. I'll have to take a look at that later. Okay, we're going to refill this. Going to get our second batch of tea going and get our passion fruit stuff into these jars. You guys already know the deal. My formula is not a secret. It's 2 tablespoons of passion fruit puree and 1 tablespoon of passion fruit syrup into about 2.5 cups each. So 1 serving is about 2.5 cups of tea for these. Oh, well, thank you, Destiny. I appreciate it. I don't think I met your brother when I was at your church. Did I? Did I meet your brother? I'm not sure that I did. I'm not sure that I have a face with the name. You know what I forgot? You know what I forgot to add to our chicken recipe earlier is the sour cream. It's sitting right here on the counter. I have to get that back out of the fridge and get that added after I finish here. No, you didn't. He's been once or twice. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I hadn't missed him. Yeah, we started some filming for a music video for Sarah. Her track Dear Martha came out a couple weeks ago now. And we shot a bunch of material for that music video just a few days ago. And we'll have to get the second shoot figured out here soon. Sarah, we can talk about that offline. But I had an alternate idea today for the performance section of the video. I think either of them will work, but I'll run it by you later. I was at your church this past Sunday. I was helping out with worship that morning. They had me singing and playing keys this time and not guitar. Okay, that is 2 servings of tea down. I normally make 4 at a time, so I'm going to set those to the side. Excuse me. And we're going to add 1 more tea bag to keep this fresh. And run our second batch while we finish off our other food prep. Okay, guys, I think it is about that time to choose an album leak. So let me give you your options one more time, and then we'll leak a little bit of audio from the new album. Looks like we're kind of at some peak viewers on some of the channels, so now would be a good time. All right, you have 5 options. Option number 1, dancey pop track. Option number 2, chill pop track featuring Tahila Rose. Option number 3, pretty orchestral kind of Disney flavored ballad featuring Sarah Smith Clodfelter and production from Jacob. Option number 4, super gritty alternative pop track, similar to something you might hear in like Daredevil or something. Also with some production from our friend Jacob. And option number 5 is our kind of CCM radio, almost sort of like Jeremy Camp, Chris Tomlin leaning radio track. So get your votes into the chat now. I'll take a look at those here shortly, and then we will give you a little audio leak right here from this Bluetooth speaker in just a moment. All right. I'm sorry, Callista, but it is time to cut the cucumber. So you have to watch it back later. I don't think she's in here right now. That's okay. We got to cut this cucumber. Bisect this guy, cut it right down the middle, and then quarter it. I'm bummed about those avocados, dude. Let's add those tomorrow. Set this to the side. It's kind of getting in my way. Trying to keep an eye on the chat, but mostly trying to keep an eye on my fingers right now. Okay, let's check out. Jacob always memeing me. Okay, Jacob says, or I'm sorry, Nathan says my vote is for the gritty pop track. Jacob has a run-on sentence of a vote. Destiny says the duet with Sarah. Okay, so we've got 1 vote, duet with Sarah. We've got another vote, gritty pop track. So we're tied between those 2 right now. All right, we need somebody to be the tiebreaker. Sam, if you were a food, you would be baklava. Take that how you will. I'm cool with that. I love baklava. I love honey. I love cinnamon. Yeah. I think the other option for me would be like a dragon fruit, and that's just because it looks like my logo. But yeah, dude. And so that's actually really interesting. I know, Jacob, you were telling me you and Sarah have this thing where you associate people's voices, their singing voices in particular, with foods. And I know you said that David Rosales, who's in the chat right now, his voice to you is like the cinnamon crumbles, the on the top of forget what they're on the top of, but I know the cinnamon crumbles you're referring to, like on the top of a cake. I'm curious what my food is. You don't have to tell me, but I am curious. I'm also curious what Sarah's food is. I'm curious what every singer's food is in your brain now. That's just a question I'm gonna bring up to you now that I know that that's how your brain works. I'm gonna bring it up. On the top of the coffee cake. My singing voice is like a custard apple. All right, so there are our cucumbers. We're going to add that to our very beautiful, colorful bowl here. And all that's left is our avocados, which will have to be added tomorrow, and our limes, which I will cut and squeeze over the top now. And then generous salt and pepper. I don't really do the feta cheese thing. I don't want to cut this. Why am I thinking so hard? Okay, yeah. I'm going to quarter these limes so I can... Somebody's calling me right now. I can't answer the phone right now. I'm on live. I have to call them back. It's one of my neighbors. I bet she's calling me to ask to borrow some ingredients, which I'm fine with, but I got to get back. You got to stop trying to call me right now. I'm live. You don't juice the lemons before you cut them? That's weird. You got to roll them. I didn't know that. Oh, that would have made my life so much easier. I know what you're talking about. You put pressure and you roll it. Never occurred to me. But I 100% should. I wouldn't stress my hands so hard trying to get the juice out of them. I completely forgot that was a thing, brother. Thank you. I'll do that next time. This is why I cook in front of you guys, because you can correct all my bad technique and give me all of your secrets. All right. I'm going to give you guys one last vote. She's watching the stream right now and is like, wait, I need those limes. But I want it to be more similar to meatballs. Okay, Abby voted pop track. So we actually have one vote for 3 different contenders. So we kind of have to, we gotta break this tie right now. We have one vote. So we're here in just a moment. We're gonna do an audio leak from the new album. I'm gonna give you a piece of a song. So we have one vote for the pretty duet, the pretty kind of Disney style orchestral duet that's between me and Sarah. We have one vote for the dark alternative pop track that's similar to like Daredevil or Arcane. And then we have one vote for Abby, you're gonna have to specify which pop track you were voting for. Was it the one that you've already heard? Was it the one that was with Tehila, or was it the one that was a duet with Sarah, or the CCM like radio pop track? So give me a little bit more specific so I can understand your vote properly. Okay, I'm gonna squeeze some limes and let you guys tabulate. The entire album is a pop track. That's true. That's right. I need some disambiguation over here. I need you to clarify like a Wikipedia article for me. Man, I really should have rolled these. I forgot all about that, brother. Didn't even know there was a thing. Oh, the one that Nathan said. Okay. We need that grit. Okay, so we have 2 votes for the gritty alt pop track. And we have 1 vote for the pretty Disney style duet. Hashtag give us the grit. All right. I'm going to give you guys until I finish these limes to see if there's any other votes from anyone who hasn't voted yet already. And if not, I think we have our answer. And I'll give you the name of that track too. I'm not biased at all, but that's my favorite on the album, to be honest. Jacob has heard it. Jacob's heard them all. Jacob is a co-producer on the record, so he knows. And I will. Don't worry if your track doesn't get picked tonight. There will be other live streams in which I will do some other leaks. But this is just the one for tonight. Sounds like our tea is almost finished behind me. You guys want to know something really funny? Yes, that fell on the floor, and yes, I'm still going to use it. Limes are clean. I don't care. I cook on these streams, but on nights like tonight where I'm cooking I'm prepping a crock pot recipe that I won't actually cook until tomorrow, I'm probably just going to like throw in a frozen pizza and call it a night tonight. Because I have music work to... Oh my gosh, they're so slippery! I have music work to do tonight too. All right. So it sounds like our chosen track for the evening is our gritty, more cinematic pop track. So let me tell you about this track. And Jacob, let me know what part of the song, since you know the song, what section of the song you think I should play for these guys. Maybe like a part of the bridge and a chorus or something, or maybe part of a verse and a chorus. You let me know what you think because you know this track. So let me tell you about this track that you all have chosen this evening. This song is called Uncommon. And as I said before, the vibe of it is very similar to what you might hear in Netflix's Daredevil, in the opening theme. It's very similar to a track that you might hear in the TV show Arcane from League of Legends. So we were going for that really big, cinematic, and gritty alt-pop sound on this one. Something that I hope will get some sync placements, and you might actually hear it in a TV show or a video game in the future after it releases. The song is about feeling different. It's about feeling uncommon, for wanting more from life, for believing that God intends more from life than what a lot of people have ever dared to believe or have dared to say out loud. So I'll give you a little section of this song, Uncommon. Just give them the first verse into the first chorus or something. All right, cool. I'll do that. So I'll start you at the top, and we will stop after the first. Now, you're not going to get good audio. That's the trade-off of these leaks. You're going to get whatever you get from this Bluetooth speaker. I'll play it from the top, just through the first chorus. Here we go. I'm feeling uncommon because I'm this life. Because I feel all right, that's all you get. Sounds much better on some big speakers or some big headphones, major bass drops. This is for your gym playlists. This is for the climbing a mountain. This is for slaying dragons. Super cool. Jacob and I collaborated hardcore on the production of this song, doubling down on orchestral stuff, doubling down on 808s and fat beats meeting giant horns and strings and sound design. It has been so cool, and you're really, really going to dig the finished product. So if you want to hear it again, you're going to have to go back and listen to our low quality audio here on the live stream from that. But that, my friends, is the song you requested for tonight. The album leak, the song Uncommon. Okay, I need to mix up these vegetables. We're going to add generous salt and pepper. There are no avocados in here tonight. Sad face because my avocados were bad, so I'll add those tomorrow. I bet this is still pretty good without them, though. Like, not nearly as good because I really like avocados. I really like guacamole. And this kind of reminds me of guacamole. But there's, I bet there's still, I could probably eat some of this tonight and it wouldn't be bad. Respectfully, the grit caught me off guard. You're the one who coined the hashtag "Give us the grit, dog." It gets dirtier later in the song. The bridge is absolutely dope. It's tough. It's like walking slow motion away from an explosion tough. So you're gonna have to wait for the album to drop for that to get that though. And the last chorus, man, the strings are like at the helm of the Black Pearl epic in that last chorus. But again, you're gonna have to wait for that one. Oh, I will drop it when it's done. It's basically finished. We're just doing a little bit of mix cleanup and things like that now, but that will be a part of the new record. Okay, finished with that for the evening. Let's make our last two servings of passion fruit green tea here, and then add the sour cream to the chicken recipe that I forgot to pop in there before. And that'll close things out for tonight. Get a Grit is your new branding. I kind of love that. Can we get that? Can we put that on some t-shirts or something? Hashtag Get a Grit. There's another hashtag we're going to be using for the album. We kind of have a marketing plan in place, and one of those things includes kind of a phrase and a hashtag. But this could be a secondary one. I kind of like that. Get a Grit, get that embroidered on a flat bill hat. That would go pretty hard, right? I think so. Appreciate that, Destiny. I appreciate it. The Spark Unleashed. Here's the thing, dude. Like, I'm not a rock artist anymore. That is Reclaimers, and I haven't forgotten about Reclaimers. People have asked me about that recently. I'm like, oh, stuff is coming there too, but I got to get this record finished. So I don't direct people toward the Spark anymore, because that was basically a rock record, dude. That was a rock record with pop songs on it. Now I make pop music, and some of those pop songs are just alternative pop, which is not outside of the realm of what's allowed, right? I mean, I take or leave the fact that I'm referencing this artist right now, but Taylor Swift has put out songs that are definitely just like girly ballads, but she also put out like Ready for It. And Ready for It is squarely like an electronically driven alt pop tough guy, tough girl track. So I don't think it's out of bounds for a pop artist to have that breadth of style on a record, so long as it can all still live under the pop umbrella. And I very much do believe that every track on this album fits under that broad umbrella, but still fits under the umbrella. Too Grit to Quit. Nathan, you're gonna have to send these to me. That one's good too. I'll steal that if you don't. Ready for It was the perfect track for you to reference. Well, that's the thing. Like, Ready for It has like those big like type sounds, and then it has that pretty like pre-chorus in the middle of the night or whatever, right? But it's got like those trap inspired like 808 driven verses and stuff in it, and I've always loved that juxtaposition in music. That's always been one of my favorite things, is like the Salt and Sugar, the pretty melody with like a fat gritty beat underneath it. Or, you take a song like that, and I'm not like a big Taylor Swift, I'm not really a Taylor Swift fan, or anything. So this is not me endorsing or not endorsing her. It's just as a point of conversation, since a lot of people know that song and I've heard it as well. I always did think it was cool how that song has its like hard sections and it has its pretty sections, and it just sort of it doesn't apologize for transitioning between them. Again, I'm not a T Swift stan. I'm not saying go listen to her music. I'm neither endorsing her or tearing her down. It's just that's a song a lot of people know, so I think it's a good point of conversation. That actually feels so accurate. T Swift would be chocolate covered strawberries, but then you realize it's like dollar store chocolate. Oh my gosh, Nathan. Well, I don't. Let me put it this way: I don't roast other artists. I have pretty strong feelings about music a lot of the time, but I also recognize that other artists are people that, one, no matter where they're at in life, everybody needs Jesus. But two, they're also people that I could end up working with one day. So, uh, because I could end up working with, you never know who you're going to end up working with one day. I'm careful about how I talk about other artists, but that does make me laugh a little bit. Jacob says, not gonna lie, great value chocolate bars are better than Hershey's milk chocolate. So like ellipses. Hey dude. Okay, Walmart. Okay. You gotta get me on the Fiverr service. Fiverr. What are you doing on Nathan, what are you doing on Fiverr, brother? I haven't met most of you guys, but it's charming to me and to love seeing the music drop recently in the circle. Absolutely. You know what was really cool? I don't know if David Rosales is still in here, but I knew that he could sing. I ironically I've seen pictures of him singing, and I've spent a lot of time with the man, but I had never heard him sing until just the other night. And David has a great singing voice. Oh my goodness, I was so impressed. He was helping lead worship at a friend's church the other night, and I was just kind of there, but I was in the room while Jacob and Sarah were helping him and Stephen kind of prep for that. We're offering a service to tell people what their food voice is like. What food their voice is like. Should probably cover raindrops. I mean, hey, look, if other people want to drop raindrops covers, I'm not mad about it. I don't think Nathan would be either. Okay, tea, prepped, vegetables, except for the avocados, prepped. Last thing I gotta do is I need to put this sour cream in my chicken stuff. And then I'm gonna bachelor pad it and probably have like a frozen pizza for dinner. Don't judge me. I'm cooking for tomorrow. Yes, Nathan wrote all of those lyrics. I did not write a word of that song. That was all Nathan. I just did my cover of it. Yeah, no, Jacob and Sarah, who you have never met, Nathan, are big fans of that song. I've been at their house and witnessed it being stuck in their heads before. To know, I didn't provoke that. I didn't show up and like subtly sing it to try and do some product placement while I was on the premises or something. It just stuck in their head naturally. Sam, I love Beautiful Dream. I love Beautiful Dream too. That song is going to be included on the album. Of course, it's a song that's already out, but my hope is that, or my plan is that with the album coming out, that song will get a lot more new promotion and get to a lot more listeners, because I think it deserves to get to a lot more listeners. All right, we're going to use half of this sour cream. I'm going to do my best to going to do my best to whisk it into here. Sorry, it stuck to my spoon. It just looked funny. All right. I got sour cream on my finger. You probably think I'm going to lick this off my finger. I'm not. I'm not that big of a fan of sour cream. I'm okay with it being an ingredient in things. But sour cream is kind of like it's kind of like cottage cheese to me. Like you can put it in something and I'm all right. It could be a flavor enhancer, but I'm not gonna like probably eat it on its own, you know? Okay. Get the whisk. Can you say how many songs yet or not? Well, the album will probably be over 10 songs, and at least 5 of those are brand new. And a lot of the other ones are... Hang on. TikTok is being very, very strange. I think it wants me to prove that I'm a human being to keep my live stream going. Okay, I did it. I just had to do a CAPTCHA live on my own stream. That feels a little insulting, don't you think? It said it detected inactivity. There wasn't inactivity from my camera, TikTok. Chill. Looks like we had a couple people just join on Instagram. Welcome to the live stream, everybody. I'm just about to finish up. You missed it earlier, but we did a little bit of an audio leak from the album that's coming out early next year. We did an audio leak of the song Uncommon from that record. So if you missed that, as soon as this live is over, go back to about 20 minutes ago. You can check that out. CAPTCHA solving is going to be a new category on Twitch. Yeah, TikTok thought I was an AI. Go figure. I was too good at the Wordle. Said nobody could have gotten last night's Wordle and only 3 guesses. This guy has to be an AI. But in fact, I did. Okay, everybody. The chickpea salad is AI. All right, guys. So if you are looking for a music teacher, if you would like to, and you're in the North Fort Worth area, and you would like to learn guitar, acoustic or electric, saxophone, piano, bass, or music production and mixing, I'm looking to open up my schedule for 1 to 2 new students, probably starting at the top of the new year, maybe a little sooner. So get at me if you're interested in that, and we can talk about details for that. Today we did an audio leak of the song Uncommon from my upcoming album that's dropping early next year. I'm working on finishing up some music video stuff. We talked about how we filmed some of Sarah's new music video just the other day, and we still have some production to do on that. And we made a whole bunch of food that I'm probably not even going to be able to get into until tomorrow. So I got to get out of here and do some more work on the album, do some logistics. There's still a lot of things to be done and not a lot of time left to do it. So until next time, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. And if you're on TikTok, you're on Instagram, you're on YouTube, make sure you go check out some music from Samuel Day on your favorite streaming platform. Until next time, onward and upward. See you guys later.